then maybe, don't know, well, we'll see, but maybe they become sort of a bigger area. But I think for now, I think it's more important that we have multiple decks on this floor. Now, decks can be just 1 meter high, 1 block high, and that's perfectly fine with me. That works quite well. So I think we're going to carry on the internal. So obviously we need to have here, you know, the extension of this internal plate on the top as well. So let me just do that. So I think it's going to be, ooh, you know what, this is where the big decisions are made. So I think for the time being, we're going to start the internal bit there. And all we do is we do that. We just go forward, ka-chunk. And now we have a double skinned hull. Let's just make sure it goes there. And we have a light. Look at that. Bing, bang, bong. And then now what we can do is start to build in the decks. Now, to be honest, you could do double height decks here. I don't think we're going to. So I think we're actually just going to have a deck plate. So this is where this is kind of a shame. Maybe I should have thought about this a bit more. Because we've got this kind of 3-decked area here that maybe we do something with. So I think for now, we'll just build it in and then we'll work with it. So let me just do that as well. So I don't know how it's going to work. Maybe this becomes like a stairway area, or maybe it does become part of the deck eventually. So if I just draw that in, it's going to be like this. Now, I'm always kind of very scared with these things just to make them look good. There we go, that's what it's looking like. So we basically have the engineering deck that extends into maybe an open area here, maybe a control deck of some kind, maybe with displays at some point. But again, I think now is when we put in a wall. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go up, there we go. So ka-chunk. So now we have our internal walls. And then these form quite nicely the next deck's level. So we have 1 deck there, 1 deck there, and 1 deck at the top. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to have to build these all in. So let's just do that as well. This is where the block count is going alarmingly up. But again, this is just the nature of the game, I'm afraid. So there we go. That's looking pretty good. If I just remove some blocks here, we can then go down and see what we're looking at. That's fine. Go, and then clunk, click every trip, and we go over to the back again. Hopefully I've got that right. Yep, that looks good. Clunk, there we go. So let me just go down. So again, we've got to think about how we're going to translate between the decks, but we'll do that in a bit. So that's about the middle there. So let's just have another set there. And then we should be on our bottom deck. So there we go, that's our decks. Now, again, it doesn't look pretty at the moment, but that's kind of for a reason. It's because we're not entirely sure what make-out we're going to do with these. Make-out? Layout, rather. I wonder what's on my mind. So let's put some stairs in. Now, this is always the tricky bit, is how do you do these without making it look like a pile of gobshite? So you could have sort of like stairs in a, let me get it right, in that direction. So you could have just multiple stairways going up, or you could do it in kind of the longitude way, which I think we'll do for now. But again, yeah, it's up to you how you want to do this. If I do that, and then that, and then we just drop, drop, drop. There we go. And then we can translate from one to the other. Now, simple as that. We do need to put another gravity reactor in. In fact, I'm just going to do that because that's getting really annoying now. Gravity generator. So let's just put that on. I think we're going to put this right at the back. Bunk. There we go. So we've now got 1G, which is perfect. Now we'll have to twiddle with the settings in a bit, but I'm not going to do that right now. So I can probably put that block in. Yeah, that's nice. So that again translates up to here, and then we can just go all the way back here. So if I just build them, so you see it's kind of building a continuous set of stairs. So if I put the stairs back in, doop-a-doop-a-doo, there we go, and voila, and there we go. We have our simple steps. Now again, nothing more complex than that. It just comes down and then down again. Now, what we want to try and do now is build in some windows. Now, again, we need to think about windows. If I just remove that block there and put my jet back on, we need to think about how this rear is going to look. So currently, we don't have many windows at all. Plus, we want to have turrets in this thing as well. So in fact, maybe the next thing we should do is build the conveyor system in. So let's do that now. Again, having creative mode do this is a bit of a godsend for me. So I'm not going to lie to you. This is actually really, I'm really pleased at this. But yeah, it's not nice having to cheat, is it? You know, I shouldn't cheat really, should I? But anyway, let's think about how we're going to build this. Now, the thing is, this needs to be a continuous tube all the way through. So there are many ways you can do this. You could just have it as one long tube, perhaps on the very lower floor. So let me show you what I mean by that. So this is the lowest area of the ship here. So what we need to do is figure out where the tube appears here, which again, I'm not sure it does actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so maybe, no, it should do. It's here, right. So basically, ta-da, let me show you that. That's the tube. So we want to connect to that. So the easiest way to do this is just to start cutting out blocks. So we found a conveyor, and that's exactly what we need. So we now want to obviously feed this through the ship. And I think the easiest way to do that is going to be, let me think about this, is potentially just to, let me just go all the way out, there we go, is potentially to go underneath. Okay, so if we built, let me just show you what I mean. So if, for example, if I got rid of that, I've lost myself. There we go. So if we have a conveyor that goes here, and then we have our tubes that just literally come along the hull like that. Does that make sense? And then what we can do is hide it with a block. So I'm just going to remove all of that, all the way to about there. And that looks a bit scary, I know, but don't worry, because then we just build it all the way back. Clunk, and then what we just do is put a conveyor back in, and we'll put that right there, and there we go. Now what we need to do is we can just build then a kind of mainframe. Mainframe? What am I talking about? God, I'm losing my mind today. Let me show you what I mean. So there we go. So we could have maybe some form of structure like that. Simple as that. And then what we do is just turn it around. Ka-chunk. And that is done.